Well, let's get this word over with. Fox and the Hound 2. As a kid, I kind of enjoyed this movie back then. After watching it, Doug Walker was right about this sequel. Oh, this movie really should have not existed in the first place. Sure, this will be for kids to enjoy for like a whole hour. It feels like this movie goes on way too long. Here's like the first problem with this film. It sure tries to be based off like the first film, like what happened to like the main friendship, what happened to them being like great friends and all that. And why am I wearing like pink glasses? This for some reason, so I can see a little bit better since I barely blink half the time. So I would not say Fox and the Hound 2 is like the worst movie out there, but let me just go ahead and get straight to the point. And the point is, like in this movie, I'm visiting a circus in a great company of country singers. There's also the voice of Patrick Swayze and Ron McIntyre are in this movie. And most likely Jeff Foxworthy are in this film, playing dog singers. Also, there's like a few other problems with this movie. Sure, it's all 2D dimensional. Sure, it looks nice and all that. But look at this. Yeah, look at that. Look what you're actually seeing. Also, with all CGI. That's pretty much the entire problem with this movie. Sure, the characters are 2D animation, but it kind of makes it kind of cheap looking. The basic story of this movie is them seeing that Copper is a great singer dog, and they don't even know he's a stray until you pretty much know this cliche before that while you're hanging for a view. And there's like this female dog named Trixie, who's overcasted by the singer, and now she has to team up with Todd the fox. Fox and sabotage the singing song part. You pretty much know where this is going. I mean, those of you who watched this movie before, hearing people thinking that dogs are actually singing. And because he does like that singing part thinking it's harmony. I mean, sure, Todd gets jealous of Copper. They're thinking there's like better dog singers out there, and there's like this mayor guy that comes to visit into the circus, and it's kind of a running gag for the whole entire movie. Him being tortured, or just to be funny. You pretty much know where this is going. This movie does have like one redeeming factor besides the animation. There's like the Amos Slade and the old lady. You have like one bit of cute emotional moment scene. It's kind of heartwarming. Too bad it's ruined. And with these obnoxious scenes of them not like each other, there's like so much padding into the movie. Sure, they use all that animation budget and just to add this movie's scene drag it on. Sure, they have songs on them, but it doesn't help much that these characters are separated for like a whole half of the time into the movie. And what can you do about this film? Not pretty much anything else about this film whatsoever would be that memorable. Oh, you'll pretty much forget the sequel existed. I mean, after me reviewing Cinderella 2, sure, it's not a great film. It's not that memorable either. There's like a few problems with this film. There's no Big Mama Owl, which nobody talks about. Those other birds from the last film are not even in the sequel. I watched this movie before when I was a kid. No Big Mama, no Boomer or that tiny bird. They're nowhere to be seen. Instead, they get replaced by a cricket. A cricket that looks like the caterpillar. It just doesn't help on how much they did not bring back most of the characters. Sure, we got the old man and his dog. Chief. Sure, he's in this movie, but not that much happens. There's like too much slapstick humor in this. You could do anything. It just feels like another Mulan movie 2 all over again. Just seems almost out of place at these scenes. Movie's plot sucks. Like everything in this movie just seems a little bit too much mediocre, and all kinds of crazy things happening way too fast. Then it gets sad later on, and then you just wish this movie could have gone better. It could have been amazing. You could have at least done something with it. This movie should not even exist. And yet, it does exist. I mean, it is supposed to be called number 2, but it's kind of more of a prequel, just like Tarzan 2 and Bambi 2. Bambi 2 is actually way better than this movie. It's in the word for it, crap. Yeah, that's the word for it. And sure, you could put this on for kids to add the movie's running time. It just seemed so unnatural that this film was nothing more than a catch and grab. But don't worry, I might talk about some other terrible Disney sequels out there that should not even exist. Pretty soon I'll talk about Hunchback of Notre Dame number 2, a sequel to that movie that should not even exist either. It's not even better than the first one. It's slightly even worse. I mean, there are most other Disney sequels I could have been talking about. I'll have to make my time almost miserable to explain how this works. Sure, we got the main characters, Todd and Copper, but it almost feels like not much else to do in this film whatsoever. I mean, toward the end of the film, they try to get the band back together, and they all feel sorry for each other on everything they've done. Get the mayor's head back and undo other things they have done. So, yeah, I'm not going to remember much of this movie whatsoever. On why this existed, why this should not even be a thing. You could have at least done anything. You could have at least done a little bit more better. You could at least make all these characters interesting. I know they're trying their best at this, but it just seemed a shameful cash grab from a mile away. It almost feels like a waste for talent and acting in this role. It got too much slapstick humor, just too much hijinks, and too much CGI. So, or can I recommend it? Hell no. Probably just watch it once and probably don't touch it ever again. I know people that review this movie might almost agree or disagree with me that this film does not hold out that well. So, yeah. I can end this review with a word for this film. A big, huge whoop. The terrible movie do. Thank you all for watching.